All right, here with seniors Carter Smith, Pierce, Cumpstone. Second straight NCAA bid for you guys. Just talk about opportunity to keep your season going. I guess starting with you, Carter. Obviously getting the bid Sunday night, and now moving on to this week.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a dream, I think, of every player that comes to Stonehill to play in an NCAA tournament. It's kind of the goal of college basketball, so we're really excited to be back here and have another opportunity to really achieve something great. So we couldn't be more excited.
Pierce.
Last year kind of left a bitter taste in our mouths, losing first round. There's extra motivation trying to play a team in our conference too that we lost to, Bentley, last week. So a little extra revenge this upcoming weekend against them, and then just one game at a time, really.
You guys, it was a big senior class, came in right after the team went to the Elite Eight and Final Four. Before you guys came in, and certainly it was a rocky first couple of years. Just talk about what it's been like just to kind of bring this team back, and 2 straight years now in the NCAAs after their run the year before you guys came in.
Yeah, I don't know about Pierce, but I definitely when I came here, I thought based off what they did the year before, I thought there was an absolute chance that this team could make it back to a Final Four and even win a national championship. So being able to go through the first 2 years and all the struggles and not really living up to the expectation that I had for this school and myself here, and now being to 2 straight NCAAs is definitely righting the ship, so to speak. So it feels good to kind of put this program back to where it was.
Anything,
Ted? Yeah, it makes the first 2 years struggling just makes these 2 past years that much better. Going through those losing seasons and finally having a 20-win season in this league is such an accomplishment. And even if we lose our first game, we've come so far from our freshman year. So
I talked about before, and you guys being from Ohio, when the Elite Eight that year was in Kentucky, so relatively short drive for both of you to you guys were able to go down there and see what that's all about. Now I know you got 3 games potentially here ahead of you to get to that. Just talk about that experience as you're a high school senior and watching the program and kind of knowing what it's about and the task at hand this weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome seeing Stonehill at an event like that, and seeing them play at a really, really high level. So since I've been here, it's been something that I've strived to help this team do, and I think most of us feel the same.
Heading this weekend, a lot of familiar teams that you know of, 4 teams from in your division that you've already played twice or 3 times. What's the heading into Saturday night? What's the goal, and what's kind of how's the team approaching this?
Yeah, right now we've played these teams before. We know the game plan going into them, so right now it's just kind of executing the game. There's not much more planning we can do or preparation for these teams. We've played them so many times, especially over the 4 years here, so it really just comes down to just getting it done, really.
Obviously a chance to go to a different venue you guys haven't played at. Is that kind of an added bonus, kind of what the NCAA tournament experience is about? Yeah,
I think so. It's always fun to be in new gyms and new environments, and especially at this time of the year, it doesn't get any better than that.
All right, guys, we'll wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thanks very much.
All right, here with head coach Chris Kraus, heading into the NCAA tournament. Coach, obviously, a second straight bid for you as the head coach. I don't know how many as a player and an assistant coach, but a number, and obviously for the program, a 14th NCAA bid. Just talk about that opportunity now after getting the official call on Sunday night.
Yeah, first off, just extremely excited to be back in the NCAA tournament and continue the season, not only just for the program, but for this group of guys, and a team that's worked really hard to get to this point, and a team that deserves it. And we've been through a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of really good times, and these guys certainly deserve to continue playing, and we're thrilled to be back in the tournament this weekend and another opportunity to go after this regional championship and just keep this season moving forward.
What's the moment like now where this is kind of, how many months it is this season since you guys officially start October 15th? I know there's individuals before that,
right?
But now that's all built to now, and just kind of
I remember, I mean, this summer you meet with our staff, and we've got a great staff here, our coaching staff, and getting ready for the season, getting ready for the preseason meetings, and hey, what do we want to do with guys individually, skill work, and how do we want to game plan and tweak our team and figure all that out. And I remember those meetings, and for me, this has always been one of the goals, is to get back to this point and get this group back to the NCAA tournament. And it feels like yesterday that we had that meeting, even though it was 6, 7, 8 months ago when it happened. But just it's the long process of the year and how the year goes. But to be at this point, to hear your name called on Sunday night and to get that bid is just, it's amazing. And there's only 64 teams left playing in the country. And I know we've been in this point before with myself, both as a player and assistant, now obviously head coach back-to-back years. And each and every time it happens, it's just fantastic. And to compare it to other ones, this is the biggest one of all, because you're here in the moment and going through it right now, and just couldn't be happier and more proud of our guys in this program and just our staff and everything that we've accomplished this point. And hopefully the plan is to continue this moving forward.
Obviously a big moment for the team, but just bigger picture with the league. 5 teams in from the Northeast 10, 4 from the division that you guys have played 2 times, won 3 times. Obviously, you're going to play again now 4th. But what's that say about the league? And then also the if there's ever a roller coaster of a year where you got to deal with these teams.
Well, it's going to be funny. I don't think there's going to be many teams that don't know each other that well in the tournament this weekend with everyone, especially from the NE10. But it certainly speaks volumes to the Northeast 10 Conference, to our league, and how competitive and how good this league is. 5 teams from the NE10 received bids of the 8 total teams that are in the tournament this weekend, and 4 of those 5 are on our side, like you mentioned. We're playing Bentley for the 4th time this season. But it's just, we talk about how good this league is. We explain to our guys when we're recruiting them and they're in high school and trying to enlighten them about the NE10 and how skilled this league is, and how tough it is, and how competitive it is. And having 4 from our division, 5 in total, just speaks volumes to that and how good this league is as a whole. From top to bottom, this is definitely the toughest and best Division II conference in the country. It can compete with anyone, especially the league above. We opened the year at Providence and gave those guys a really good run. It was a really tight ball game right up to the very end, and many teams in this league have done that. And it's just it's a very, very special league, the NE10, and our guys know that. The fans and the community, everyone knows it, and the amount of bids that the schools in this league got into the NCAA tournament just speaks to that.
5 teams in, but you're going to be going to a different gym down at Holy Family. Does that make it a little bit nicer, a better experience for you as a group? Just
Yeah, heading out on the road, being away, and just traveling together and going through that process, it's fun. I remember as a player, when we headed out to Springfield for the Elite 8 Final Four, and just traveling together and the bond and the stuff that you can do as a group, just bringing the group even closer together while you're away, and no more distractions. It's just so much fun for these guys as players, and I know even as a coach now and our staff, it's just a great overall experience. The fact that we're playing at a neutral site, I think, is good. I know Bentley's they've played there this year. We haven't been down to Holy Family yet, but we're not at their place, they're not at ours, and familiar rims for them a little bit more, but you know what, it's going to be a brand new experience, and a neutral floor, neutral basketball, neutral everything that we're excited to just be heading down to.
I'm not trying to put the cart in front of the horse here, but spoke to Carter and Pierce. They came in the year after you guys went to the Elite 8.
Yeah.
I remember them attending the Elite 8 games in Kentucky as high school seniors, and so they got a little bit of a taste of what the expectations of the program are. Just talk about that group, and now certainly the first 2 years I'm sure didn't go the way they expected, but now they've built this program
right.
back.
And the neat thing for me as a coach and being on this side of things now, it's a reason why I do this, is watching these kids grow and develop and mature into young men, and seeing both Pierce and Carter as incoming freshmen, 17, 18-year-old kids, to where they're at now. It's just been so much fun watching them grow up. They did come and watch us. I remember Pierce came to see us out in northern Kentucky in the Final Four back a number of years ago. And them coming in as freshmen, and they're just so competitive, and obviously really, really talented players, but they were ready to walk in overnight and say, all right, we're going back. And it took them a little bit, and it took everyone, just the fact to understand what it takes and the process and the build-up and development to get back to this point, to get back to potentially doing some stuff like that and back to the NCAA tournament. These guys came in as really talented, competitive players, but they had to understand and had to learn what it took to not only win a game, but win in practice and how to compete day in and day out in practice and that process. And for those two and the other, we've got 6 seniors this year, and they all went through that as a group. And for those six freshmen at the time, 5, actually it was 5 when they first all came in together. We brought on Stuart McEwen as a sophomore, and now the 6 seniors, just their development, their learning process from young guys to where they're at now has just been tremendous. And just couldn't be more happier for them, just thrilled for the group and the program and all 15 of our guys.
You kind of talked about the roller coaster of a year, and it's long one. We could tell stories about guys going, how much of a roller coaster this has been. Talk about the last couple of weeks with this team. I really feel like just watching, they've really gotten used to playing with the guys without the guys they don't have, and I really feel like the team's kind of peaking again, if that's possible.
You hope so. It's always said that you kind of want to be playing your best basketball towards the end of January, and especially heading into February, March, to continue the year. And it's been a lot of ups and downs this year, more ups than definitely downs, especially to be where we're at right now. But some injuries that we've had, being 2 starters down, especially for the last month or so. There's not a lot of teams definitely in our league or around the region, maybe in the country, that have had to go through some of that stuff. But it's unfortunately part of the process at times. The injury bug hits you here and there. But we've had guys that have stepped up and filled some roles, and guys who have taken a little bit more upon themselves and put things on their shoulders to raise our team to another level. And we've had the group as a whole do that. And one thing we say in every single huddle, every time we bring it together, pre-practice, before practice, after practice, before games, our hands come together and our guys say family. And I think this team and this program really embodies that. And the team over the last number of weeks has really looked out for their family and their brothers and tried to pick up each other based off the injuries and everything that's happened, and they're doing it for one another. So we've had some guys that go down, but this group, it's a relentless group. It's a group that continues to want to get better and better and better each and every day. And it's fun from our standpoint, myself and our coaches, to show up and work with those guys day in and day out. But we're playing some good basketball right now. We got a really good opponent on Saturday that we know well, and we've been doing our part to get ready for those guys.
Perfect segue to wrap this up. NCAA bid, and you're gonna 5-6 hour bus drive, and you're gonna play
the team up the road.
The team up the road. Good to face a team right away that you just faced last week, and
it makes my assistant's life and my life a little easier because the scout's already done. But we playing them for the 4th time right now, which I don't think happens very often in the country at any level, is a really unique situation. And we know them. We know what they're capable of. Our guys do. Our guys know who their key guys are, a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket for them. And on the flip side, they know us. So we're just working to prepare for that. Obviously watching the game film from last week and some things that we need to do a little bit better and some things that we need to work on. And they'll be doing the same thing, just preparations for the rematch on Saturday night. But we're excited regardless. We could playing Bentley, playing the host school, playing anybody else. We're just thrilled to be playing right now and excited to be back in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Coach, congratulations, and we'll talk to you down in Philadelphia.
Thank you.